This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Monday, the 26th day of July in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has announced that his ministry will continue its nationwide inoculation of persons who have already received their first shot of the Sputnik vaccine from tomorrow. A total of 10,000 second-dose shots arrived in the country this morning and will cater for the remaining persons who received the first shot in April and those who got their first shot in May.
We know a lot of persons who took their first dose, and some of them are now becoming eligible for their second dose. And as you would recall, second dose is anytime between 4 weeks to 12 weeks. Initially, we were using the minimum period of that 4 weeks, but then we were advised that we can go to a maximum of 12 weeks. That is what most countries are now using. We have been following that protocol. So those persons, as of last week, as you would recall, we had started giving the second dose to those persons who got their first dose in April.
The vaccines will be distributed to the 10 administrative regions. There are thousands of persons awaiting their second shot of the vaccine to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The health minister today reminded that for those persons who have not received any vaccine as yet, there are still first and second doses of the AstraZeneca and Sinopharm vaccines available, as well as the first dose shots of Sputnik.
We have been giving 3 types of vaccines in Guyana. The AstraZeneca, which we have both doses of. And again, I want to urge people who got their first dose AstraZeneca to come and get their second dose, because we see a lot of people who took their first dose. Their time is due, but they haven't come back yet for their second dose. So we want to encourage those people to do that. Similarly, we have Sinopharm vaccines. We have both doses that are available. And again, those who took their first dose, we want them to come and get their second dose. And if there are persons who want first dose, they can get that as well.
More than 50% of Guyana's adult population has received the first dose of one of the coronavirus vaccines, while less than 30% of the population is fully vaccinated. The government is hoping to get at least 80% of the population fully vaccinated against the virus. The number of new cases of the virus and its death toll has been climbing steadily in recent weeks across Guyana. More news coming up in just a moment.
What's our purpose? Together we rise. For our community, our customer, and our country. Our promises: strengthen our community, reliably connect our customers, innovate for all in our country. Together we rise.
Take your shot, get back to your life. Take your shot, take your shot, take your shot, get back to your life.
A message from Republic Bank.
Jungle Jam! Jungle Jam! Jungle Jam! Find as many as you can. Jungle Jam! Jungle Jam! The animals are waiting. Monkeys, giraffes, dinosaurs. Real excitement in a chocolate bar. Elephant, toucan, jaguar. Which ones will you find? Jungle Jam, Jungle Jam. Find as many as you can. Jungle Jam, Jungle Jam. Which ones will you find?
I'm in a rush. Digital got me in a rush. Driving style for the summer. Digital summer rush.
Nobody's doing it better.
big like Digicel this summer. Top up with $1,000 or more and collect the letters to spell the word RUSH for a chance to win one of 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs. Yes, you heard it right. 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs.
Drive in style for the summer. Hey, Digicel Summer Rush.
Start topping up now.
Turn up the whole place. Taste the snack that have a smile on everyone's face. Ole, got the flavor lock. Ole's got it, yes, this is fun's favorite snack. Ole, turn up the flavor now. Ole, turn up the taste that's good so wow. Ole's got it anyhow. Ole, turn up the flavor now. Sunshine snacks, Ole, turn up the flavor.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL.
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Let GBTI make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
The government of Guyana has announced that all passengers traveling from Trinidad and Tobago to Guyana who are not Guyanese nationals will now be required to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 to enter Guyana, in addition to providing a negative COVID-19 PCR test result. The announcement came in the form of the publishing of an amendment to the National Health Regulations in the Official Gazette under the hands of the Public Works Minister Juan Edgil. The Guyana government has not provided any reason for the singling out of Trinidad and Tobago. More than 500,000 Trinidadians have already been vaccinated. There is currently no vaccination requirement for persons coming from any other country to Guyana. Trinidad and Tobago recently reopened its borders after more than a year with strict protocols for all persons traveling there. In addition to negative COVID-19 test results, non-nationals traveling to Trinidad and Tobago must also be fully vaccinated. Trinidad and Tobago is only recognizing the World Health Organization approved COVID-19 vaccines. Most of the vaccinated persons in Guyana have been administered the Russian-made Sputnik vaccine, which is still to receive World Health Organization approval. Barbados also has strict protocols in place for travel to the island and is also only recognizing WHO-approved vaccines. However, unvaccinated persons could travel to Barbados with their negative PCR test result, but they will have to undergo several days of quarantine at an approved government facility at their own cost. Guyana is the only country in CARICOM that is using the Sputnik V vaccine. The leader of the Liberty and Justice Party and Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Lennox Schumann, has issued a call on the government to only provide its cash grant for children to fully vaccinated parents. In a statement on his Facebook page, Mr. Schumann is also recommending that house lots only be provided to persons who are fully vaccinated. Schumann is a government advisor on aviation. The government is currently distributing cash grants to parents of public school children across the country, and the Ministry of Housing has been continuing its house lot allocation drive. The statement from the Member of Parliament who sits on the opposition side of the House as a representative of the Join the Parties comes at a time when there is a call for more persons to get vaccinated, and some businesses are forcing staffers to do regular COVID-19 tests if they are not vaccinated. It is not mandatory in Guyana to be vaccinated against COVID-19, and the government has repeatedly made that position clear. The Minister of Labour has also said employers cannot force their employees to get vaccinated, saying that would be against local laws. Just last week, President Irfan Ali hinted that as Guyana moves to open up the country more, vaccination requirements are likely to be put in place for social gatherings and public events. The president, however, said no decision has been made on those issues. Guyana has, however, put a vaccination requirement in place for all non-nationals who are flying to Guyana from Trinidad and Tobago. While the Ministry of Housing and its Central Planning and Housing Authority will be moving to construct 500 low-cost homes at Plantation Golden Grove on the east bank of the Marara. The announcement was made today by Housing Minister Colin Crowell as he distributed house lots and land titles at the National Stadium for areas along the East Bank corridor. The Housing Minister said ongoing development works are taking shape on the East Bank as well as the east coast of the Marara. More infrastructure is being put in place to make it easier for persons when they are ready to build their homes.
The investments that are being made, therefore, by our government into development of communities certainly is significant. And so I want to use the opportunity now to encourage all of you, for those who receiving your house lots, as well as your titles or transports, that you seek out the assistance of the banks, their presence here, utilize them for assistance in financial guidance, and do that as quickly as possible.
Crowell also explained that persons who are allocated house lots specifically in regions 3, 4, and 5 but cannot access those lots because of the lack of infrastructure will get an ease sooner. He said the government wants to change that by the end of the year.
We have issued over 1,200 titles and transports to date in our first year in office. We have ongoing commitment of the construction of 190 moderate income houses at Common Sludge, 200 young professional houses not far from here at Providence and as well as Prospect.
The housing minister said his ministry has distributed 6,200 house lots across the country since he took office. In the coming months, the ministry will also be seeking to identify new housing areas to intensify the government's housing drive. There are over 42,000 applications for Region 4 in the system, and the housing ministry is hoping to clear that backlog. An early morning fire at Block 22 Wisma Linden has claimed the life of an 83-year-old woman. The dead woman has been identified as Norma Semple. The fire service was summoned just after 2 o'clock this morning as the fire ripped through the wooden house. Persons in the area said the woman was heard crying out for help as fire engulfed the house. She lived alone. She could not make it out in time, and the neighbors could not make it in to offer help as the fire quickly spread throughout the building. By the time the fire service arrived, the woman's cries for help were no more. The fire service managed to stop the fire from spreading to nearby houses. The burnt remains of the elderly woman were later found among the ash. A cause for the fire has not been determined. The Guyana Police Force is assisting the fire service with the investigations. An 18-year-old man from Latem is nursing stab wounds to both of his arms after he was attacked by his 20-year-old girlfriend when he told her that he was ending their relationship. The incident occurred yesterday afternoon in the Region 9 community. According to a police report, the 18-year-old youth, Brandon Bailey, returned home yesterday afternoon and informed the girlfriend that he was moving on from their relationship. The woman reportedly got annoyed over the decision and armed herself with a knife, stabbing the young man in both of his arms before escaping from the scene. Up to news time, she was still on the run.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Preparing for your NGSA exams is always a challenge. The Guyana Learning Channel is here to help. You can go to YouTube using your browser or your mobile device, then search for the Guyana Learning Channel in the search bar. We're live streaming our NGSA booster videos all day and all night. If you want to study a specific subject or topic, you can go to our NGSA booster playlist. You can look at a specific subject, such as mathematics, and then look for a specific topic. Here, you can follow along with the lesson to prepare for your examination. Remember kids, study hard, and best of luck in your exams.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
What's our purpose? Together we rise. For our community, our customer, and our country. Our promises: strengthen our community, reliably connect our customers, innovate for all in our country. Together we rise.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, the foreign ministers of the United States and 20 other countries have condemned mass arrests in Cuba, and they have called for a full restoration of internet access on the island that has recently been rocked by political unrest. The joint statement was issued by the governments of Austria, Brazil, Colombia, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Ecuador, Estonia, Guatemala, Greece, Honduras, Israel, Latvia, Lithuania, Kosovo, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Poland, the Republic of Korea, Ukraine, and the US. The statement said democracies around the world are coming together to support the Cuban people, calling on the Cuban government to respect Cubans' demands for universal human rights. Last week, the U.S. imposed sanctions on a Cuban security minister and an Interior Ministry Special Forces unit for alleged human rights abuses during a crackdown on anti-government protests earlier this month against an economic crisis, the government's handling of COVID-19, and recent curbs on civil rights. Hundreds of activists were detained during those protests. St. Lucia went to the polls today to elect a new government. Voting started at around 6 o'clock this morning and ended at around 6 p.m. Both the incumbent Prime Minister and the leader of the ruling United Workers' Party, Alain Chastanet, and Philippe J. Pierre, the opposition leader and leader of the main opposition, St. Lucia Labour Party, addressed the nation last evening, hoping to woo undecided voters into their camp. In the 2016 general election, the UWP won 11 of the 17 seats in Parliament, but political observers say it faces an uphill task in retaining the government. The polls are being monitored by observer teams from the Commonwealth, the Organization of American States, and CARICOM. Apart from the two major parties, the newly formed Green National Party is fielding 8 candidates, and there are 4 independent candidates, including former Prime Minister Stephenson King, who caused a major stir when he announced his decision a few hours after Prime Minister Chasseney had named a date for the general election. King contested the Castries North constituency, which he has held for nearly 3 decades. And finally tonight, international news. Tunisia's main political parties have accused the president of staging a coup after he sacked the prime minister and suspended parliament. Kais Saied, who also dismissed the defense minister, says he acted in accordance with the constitution. The move followed Sunday's violent mass protests over the government's handling of the coronavirus outbreak and the economic and social turmoil. Calls are now growing from the international community for restraint. In a statement, the UN said all disputes should be resolved through dialogue, while the EU urged all sides involved to respect the rule of law and avoid violence. There were similar appeals from the Arab League, Russia, and Qatar. The US expressed its concern about the latest developments. Clashes among Mr. Said's supporters and opponents continue today in the capital. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.